So I want to discuss this slide because this is the most this is a slide that I often share in almost many of my discussions, because this picture gives a complete picture of what we are going through at present. Maybe there are difference of opinions among you in terms of this picture. But one thing I want to discuss is that whenever we joined our primary classes, each of us may have our own experiences of joining in the primary classes. And as depicted in the picture, we can see that the smile gradually fades away when it reaches to LP section, and then it reaches to high school or higher secondary, then colleges, and after that, uh, there is a complete shift in the that emoji that is shown in the picture. That is always true, because in my experience, what I could see is that now my kid is now he is studying in the LKG now. So he is now full of confidence, full of energy. He is having many. He is in a world of his own, where he is enjoying his life to the maximum. But when a student comes out of a college, I was thinking where this smile goes away. Usually, there are a lot of there may be a lot of reasons that we can think of. What is the reason for that smile getting faded away? I just want to share a story with all of the listeners who have joined here. There was a person. He was actually standing in the deck of a ship. So he was looking at the ocean, and on the deck he was facing the sea, and he was enjoying the waves and all. So another person came near him, and he told he had inquired about a question that where are you going? So the person immediately replied that I am going to America. So the immediately the reply came from the I mean the question again. The question came from the person. So what is your next plan? He was saying that. So the person replied that I am going to America to pursue my higher education. Okay. Again the question came. Okay, so what is your next plan? The reply came from the man that I am going to America, and I am going to continue my higher education there, and I will take postdoctorate fellowship there. Okay, so the question again came, what is your next plan? The question was the same, so the answer came that after completing my PhD and then I take my postdoctorate fellowship, I will go for getting a highly paid job. So the question again came, okay, so what is your next plan? So the person replied that after getting a highly paid job, I will enjoy my bachelor life to the fullest. Again, the question came. The question remains the same. Okay, what is your next plan? And the answer came was that after enjoying my bachelor life, I will travel across the world. I will buy a lot of new cars, because I'm very much fond of cars. Okay, what is your next plan? Again, same question came, and that man replied that. Then I will go for a marriage. I will find a suitable girl, and I will get married. Okay, what is your next plan? And immediately the reply came that, and we will lead a family life, and we will have children, and that's all. Again, the question came. Okay, what is your next plan? And the reply came was that these students will again go to the schools and colleges. They will study of their own. They will have their own life. The question didn't stop there, and again he asked, what is your next plan? So I just want to ask each of you that if somebody asks you, or somebody asks us this question, then what is your next plan? What is your next plan? We will have our own answers, maybe up to 9 answers we can say, 9 or 8 answers we can say, the same answers we will say. Maybe there may be difference of opinions among you, but majority will say these answers only. And finally the man said that answer, finally I will die. Okay, so the man asked the question that he was thinking like that, when I say that I will die, then what is your next plan? He cannot ask what is your next plan. And the man said that, so you are saying that you are going to America to die. You are saying that you will go to America, you will go for your higher studies, you will complete your PhD, you will take your postdoctorate fellowship, you will get a highly paid job, you enjoy your bachelor life, you roam around the world, you buy a lot of things, you find a suitable partner, getting married, then you will have children, you will lead a family life. Again, these children are again to the schools, they continue their studies, and finally you are saying that you will die. So in a nutshell, I am saying that you are going to America to die. That question was a surprise, and the man was not having answers for that question. So he was saying that the question, and those who asked the question, he was asking that, so why you want to take all these things? Whether there is any condition that before you die, you have to study, you have to get married, you have to get a highly paid job, you have to have children. Whether there are any conditions before you die? No. So if you are going to America today, why don't you jump into the sea in front of you? And that man finally said a word that, uh, dear friend, the purpose of life is a life of purpose. That should be a thing that is immersed in your mind always. Because you are saying that you are going to America, you are doing something like that. These are the things that all of the persons, everybody will think of. But to lead a meaningful life, you should think some other way. It is not that he is saying that you should not do all these things. These are very mandatory things, these are important, but at the same time, adding value to the society, or the living a life to the fullest, that is uh, that is a life of purpose. And if you want to live a life of purpose, you should not stick your uh, life to objects or persons or like that. It should be a mission. So that's the story. And I was always thinking of this story with my life always, because this was a story that I used to hear from my childhood days itself. But now it's the time that I used to ponder about that story and its significance a lot. Because for the past few years, I was able to get associated with a lot of educational institutions, a lot of the colleges here. And when I connected this experience with this story, the experience of working across our education system with this story, I was very pained because a lot of changes need to be happen. And always, this is a community where we discuss a lot of issues faced by education sector. And what I could see in my journey was that usually when we spend a major part of our life in our workspace. Suppose if a boy or a girl or somebody who completes education by the age of 22 or 25, under 25, and then he or she starts joining a job, and by the time, even though we know that there is no point of retirement initially. If you say that a government job or something like that, there is only retirement. Otherwise there is no concept of retirement, as we know. People are working at the age of 80s or 90s, so there is no point of retirement. In that case, when we take an individual, a major part of their life, more than 50% of their life, they are spending in the workspace. So I was thinking that how much planning or preparation is there for entering to a workspace. Suppose if I used to ask to the students in the colleges, uh, if you are going for a vacation, or if you are buying a smartphone of your own, what are the things that you do for the first? So they used to say that initially, I will fix my budget. What is the budget of the smartphone that I want to buy? Maybe 10,000 or 15,000. Then uh, some of them will go for some unboxing videos in the YouTube, or they will browse through some of the sites like Gadgets 360 or any other things they will do. And enough comparisons of the mobile phones available in that price range they will do. Some of them will ask their friends who are very techies in that area. So after this much research, a student or a person is usually buying a smartphone. And just think of what is the usual years that a smartphone is used by a person. Maybe 5 years or 3 years maximum. And after that, they may be upgrading for a new phone. So for a mobile phone or a smartphone which we are using for just 5 years, we are spending a lot of time, at least 3 to 5 days, for deciding what is the phone, or maybe 1 week. Many of the people may be researching about what is the area, what are the skills, what are the best available gadgets in that price range. So after 1 week of research, we will go for a smartphone. And coming to the career, I was surprised that, and for the last few years, we are seeing that problem. Whenever a situation comes in front, when there is, we have to uh, do some allotment or apply for some courses or like that, then only they are going to think of what is the area that I have to apply for. So the career planning usually is not done in the best possible way. Maybe few days they are spending on thinking about the major workspace that they are planning in their life. So for the life, 50 percentage of your lifetime, the planning done from our part is zero or nearly very limited. So this rise to a big question, that are we landing our jobs by chance or by choice? Even though we have choice, but we don't know what fits best for us. So this is a big problem that is faced in our sector now. And I would like to coin this term as 18 to 14 dilemma actually. So when we take a Indian student or Indian family, usually a person spends 18 years of education for the rest 40 years of life, maybe 18 years or maybe 22 years or 20 years. So I was thinking, if even for a 2 days vacation, we are planning a lot, thinking about what are the options, what are the things that I have to carry with me, or whether regarding buying a mobile phone. So what about the career? Is there any planning done systematically? And in India, a lot of amount is invested by every family to get to the next 40 years of life in the most fulfilling way. But what is the returns that we are getting? I want each of you to think of this serious question. What is the returns that, not in terms of money, not in terms of money alone, I am saying that. What is the returns in terms of how fulfill life a child or a person is leading? So this raises to a lot of questions in our mind. What is the problem? And what is the is it any issue concerned with our education system or schools or like that? In coming to our schools, we can see is that we can see that as a 3C syndrome. In many schools, even though we have a lot of changes are happening, we know that technology, every advancement is happening, but this basic problem still persists in our many of the education institutions, especially our schools. uh, I was very painful to read an article, um which is written in LinkedIn, saying that we know that we are now having the biggest population of youth in our country, and if we not channelize this one to the best possible way, and for that our schools and educational institutions have a big role. Otherwise, this can become a biggest HR tragedy in the world, because we don't know how to manage the system. And we often have discussions blaming that system is like that. or something like that. So these discussions are always happening in MBA. But still, what I feel is that initially the design of our schools, or all these problems that existed during the time of the independence, at that time we know that only three uh, three job roles was significant. Maybe we can say that clerks, military, or factory workers. So only the industry demanded that three workforces at that point of time. When we went back to the 40 or 50 years before our country. So still, when we look at the design of our schools, many of our schools or the system, these challenges are still existing, and still that mode is not completely vanished from any. But there are still examples of model schools, model education institutions, um and we have a lot of facts from the Fixie report and Time Stop surveys that 79% of our young graduates that doesn't know how to build their resume as well as their life. So what I am going to become in my life, when I want to revert back to this picture, that finally when a person is coming out of the college, a big question mark is in front of him that I studied this much, and now where should I invest my time and career? How should I lead my life? So this question is always there in every youth that is passing out from our higher education institutions. So we have these facts that we often don't want to see that eight out of 10 employees in India are dissatisfied in present jobs, according to one of the Time Stop survey. So when we ponder on this issue, we can see that the root cause lies from the basic design and the system itself. And then as we progress ahead, and this leads to a situation that the person is facing a mid-career crisis, that he don't know, and he's seeking what he should do in his future life and all. And this is the present situation, usually in usual cases. So we can think of what went wrong, whether the education system or the people or both. This question actually I leave to the those who are attending this session, because you all have enough experiences of working in your own sectors, and this must be a question that we that may be connected, that may be uh, thinking we may be thinking always. So in a nutshell, what I was trying to explain was that an ideal career should lead to a fulfilling life. And when I say a fulfilling life, it doesn't always mean that a highly paid jobs or like that. It may differ according to the persons, those persons fulfilling life. The concept of a fulfilling life may be different for every person, but still we can coin some of the terms that can be uh, uh, attached to the concept of a fulfilling life, because we have enough examples when we look out to the society or the community. Those who chase their passions, or those examples that we have in front, those who uh, lead a fulfilling life, we have, when we observe their life, we can see that most of them are happy in what they are doing. That is most important thing. Recently I watched an interview of our South Indian actor Kamal Hassan, where he was saying about an interviewer was actually asking him, starting from the age of 5, now you have crossed 50 years in the film industry. At ever point of your lifetime, have you felt that you are quitting from the industry, or you felt boredom from the industry? That was a question asked to him. So the answer reply from the Kamal sir was, for the past 50 years I was not acting, not I was not doing my job, but I was leaving. And whenever at a point of time in my life I came to know, or is there a feeling in myself that I am not deriving enough enjoyment, or I am not enjoying what I am doing, I will immediately quit that field. So actually that question, that answer reply from him, I was very amazed, because how much of our professionals who are working there in their workspace now can give 90 or at least 80 percentage about satisfaction in what they are doing now. Maybe very few are fortunate enough to uh, have that fulfilling life and all, but many of them will ultimately end up in a mediocre life, that do something they don't have clarity in where they are going, and they don't have clarity in where they are going, what they are doing, and still just for the sake of money or some other things, they land up in some jobs and they continue their life like that. So whenever we say about the concept of a fulfilling life, there should be uh, ultimately they should be happy in what they are doing, and of course there may be challenges, and they should be able to enjoy whatever the hard works or efforts, because even if you have a goal in front of you, if you can't enjoy the journey, the journey will become very bored up, very boring and all. So we have to be creative, they have to be active, and age is just a number. You have to think of a long term, and you have to be self-satisfied, self-disciplined, and you have to make wonders, do excellence in your job. You have to become inspiration. There should not be a situation that there should be somebody to self motivate you always, and full dedication, and all these things can always lead to decent earnings for your life also. So these are some of the things that I could think of from my memory when I think of a fulfilling life. Now, coming to the world of work. So these are the some of the statistics from the reports from the many reputed organizations like World Economic Forum and all. So coming to the future world of work. So in the first part, in the last few minutes, I was trying to explain what is the current situation, and what is the present mindset of a maybe a person who is just graduated from the college, or who is a student, and what are the situations that he is coming across. That is one side, and another side we have the future world of work, but a lot of changes are happening. Recently, I read a fact that my prediction actually in the next 10 to 15 years will bring changes more than the past 200 years. So we can just imagine the fact that even after the 2 years of COVID era, we used to always say that post-COVID and pre-COVID time. So after the COVID times, we could see that a lot of changes has happened in the education sector, or everything. A lot of changes have happened, and again the world is coming back to the normal, and this at present scenario we have this future world of work where we have full-time or part-time employees. And when we come to the question that who does the work, we have full-time employees, part-time employees, or we can go for gig workers, crowdsourcing. And how the work is done, we have AI powered tools in front, we have robotics and the automation tools, all these things in how the work is done, and when and where the work is done. We have remote workers, collocated workspaces, fluid work schedules. All these things are there. So this is the world of work that our students, who is a confused student, who is not having any idea about himself or the world of work around him, is entering. And we have the statistics in front of us of World Economic Forum, like that is the proportion of tasks that can be completed by humans and machines. So the survey says that in 2022, 34% of the tasks was completed by machines, and 66% of works was completed by human beings. And the prediction is such that by 2027, and the proportion of that is machine proportion of tasks completed by the machines will be 43%. So that means a 9% increase in the next 4 years, probably next 4 years, in the involvement of machines, or what we can call as any algorithms or any automation or any other things. And still, we can see that 57% is the proportion of tasks completed by humans. And this is the case or prediction by 2027. and we can imagine what is they have even future prediction reports of 2037 up to 2037. There are reports like that. So proportionately, the task completed by human beings is on the decline. We can say it like that. And this rises to a big question, like many futurists were discussing on this question. So what is the purpose of human beings if in an era powered by artificial intelligence or robotics or any other new technologies? So what can be the actual role of human beings in such a society? So this question gives rise to a significant amount of thinking in knowing ourselves, because each of our students or each of the persons are having their own skill sets, their own interests, and there is a particular area that we can think very creatively. Everybody may be creative in some other area. So this may be a question in our mindset always. And top 10 skills of 2023 that is shared by the World Economic Forum report is that first they are saying about this analytical thinking, the ability to cut down biggest problems to simple problems and think of analytically and come out with innovative solutions of their own. And another areas is that creative thinking. And coming to that skill, again, I have to revert back to the design of our schools and all. Whether we are giving any space for creative thinking, or there is another concern for us, whether the gadgets are leading us to a distracted world where the creativity is very low. Because if everything, we have our own gadgets, now we have chat GPT for everything. So this raises to another question. So where does then our creativity lies? We can say that even ChatGPT is also the concept, and every technology has come in the creative mindset of some other people. So again, we have to think of multiple issues. We have to find solutions for multiple issues, and these are the top 10 skills: resilience, flexibility and agility, motivation and self-awareness, curiosity and lifelong learning. We have technological literacy, dependability and attention to detail, empathy and active listening. Everybody is always going through a busy world. We don't have time to think of ourselves. But as we think of the future world, this will become very crucial, because uh, empathetic listening that have its own capabilities in the personal development of a person or life. And of course, leadership and social influence is very important. Quality control is very important. So these were the top 10 skills that is predicted for this current 2023 year. And another fact is 44% of the workers' core skills are expected to change in the next 5 years. That is very a big number. That is, if a company of 150, more than or approximately 60 of them have to be reskilled for the future world of work. So in this scenario, now these are a lot of issues, and how the world of work is changing. All these things we often hear in almost all the webinars or discussions. This was a innovative concept that was introduced in many developed countries. When we look after the education system adopted by many of the developed countries, or even if in our ancient India, when we say about the Gurukula system or like that, they have always given importance to the slogan of everybody can do every job. They replace it with the right person for the right job. So it's not like that I have completed this degree and now the trend is for artificial intelligence and machine learning. Then again I am immediately going for the artificial intelligence and machine learning. Before that, you have to know what are you are unique, and you have your own skills. And whether your friend took the course of artificial intelligence or engineering or machine learning or data analytics or cloud computing or drone pilot training, whatever the courses may be, you should think of you should think of your personality, you should know your personality to the closest, and then you opt for the decide your journey and the destination. That would be the right way. So it's an ideal that we have to replace that caption by everybody can do every job with right person for the right job. So here are some of the tips that when coming to getting ready for the future and present workspaces. The first thing that I will always uh, discuss, or I will think in detail, is that knowing oneself. Because irrespective of the world of work chain, you are an individual, you have your own capabilities, and it doesn't depend on the what are the changes happening outside. So I can say that two things are very crucial. uh, One thing is this knowing oneself and knowing the world around us. We often say that the world of work, a world of work, when we uh, make it as a simple word, WOW, when our students enter the world of work, that is a world of work, wow, they are not entering the world of work with a wow factor. So we have to bring that wow factor, we have to bring that creativity in every child. So for that, the first thing that he or she should go through is that the journey of knowing oneself. And there are a lot of techniques, like initially a psychometric test may be well defined, and scientific psychometric test may be very useful. Then it's a long process actually. The students or the everyone or every parent should be having enough patience to support the child in this journey of knowing himself. You have to closely observe him. What are the likes of this thing? A lot of techniques are there, in fact. So I give prime importance to this topic of knowing oneself in this preparation for the future or current world of work. And second one, as I always mention, knowing the future world of work. We have future-proof industries. What are the careers, which is future careers, trending careers? What are the contemporary careers? What are the declining careers? All these things we have to know. And adaptability and flexibility is one of the qualities that have to be imbibed by students. They have to be flexible in different situations, adaptable to different situations. Soft skills, I know we don't have to explain much for that, because this was the one of the most important quality that is always mentioned in every future world of work report. Networking, connecting with the peers, connecting with the veterans in the industry, that is very important in getting ready for the future world of work. Another one is the problem solving and critical thinking, which is very important. We often say that we often now we have a lot of steps from the government side, whether it can be central government or state government, a lot of initiatives to support the students who are having entrepreneurial skills or any ideas. We have a lot of missions behind that. It's not like that everybody have to become entrepreneurs of their own, adding something or like that. But ideally every children or every person who are getting ready for the future world should have an entrepreneurial mindset. It's actually I will say that it's a mindset actually. It's not like that you are going to do a startup or like that. Basically entrepreneurial mindset, like you are ready to embrace changes, you are ready to take that calculated risk in front of you, and overcoming that challenges, the self motivation within. So all these comes to an entrepreneurial mindset that every student should inculcate or develop such a mindset. Cultural intelligence, because now we have the campuses are always becoming global. So the cultural intelligence is one of the that bigger quality that um, I will always suggest for that. Physical and mental well-being, and we know that everybody having 5 domains of their personality, whether it can be physically, emotionally, mentally, intellectually, and culturally or spiritually, we can say that, or socially. So every person can be, we can say that he is in a path of perfection, or he is in a path of personality development only if he is concentrating on his 5 domains of his personality. Like Physically, he should be very strong. Emotionally, he should be strong. Mentally, he should be creative. Whatever things we see in the world around us has come from some of the mindsets of the people. Everything, every object, every innovation that we find around ourselves has come from the minds of some other person. So it's very important that the mental level there is some option for the creativity to bloom around us. For that, there is actually that is a deeper topic that we have to discuss. But I believe that nature has a big role in stimulating the creativity in us. Whenever you feel connected with the nature, uh, that is the first step to being creative. That should be the first step in getting away from the world of these distractions. Recently, I heard about a term from one of my friend in who is working in Bangalore. He's working actually as a psychologist in Bangalore. There. So he was saying that nowadays the tech fasting has been become very common. Tech fasting, like mother and the children and every a family come together. They are getting they are devoid of the gadgets. They are not using their gadgets, and 1 or 2 days they are spending time in the lap of nature. And you can see that after that when they join back to the colleges or classes or any other thing, they feel more productive or more energetic in their journey of life. So this is one of the core area that I would suggest for the future world of work, that is physical and mental well-being. And another thing is the personal branding, because it's not like you have attended a lot of workshops, you have attended a lot of internships, you have a lot of certificates, you have attending a lot of discussions. You have to know personal branding through all possible means. Lifelong learning concept, we have been discussing this concept for long. So it's doesn't the learning doesn't end up with a college or the education institution. It's lifelong now. Continuous learning and upskilling. Being work in the skill development sector for the past 10 years, I would say that the importance of skilling is very much. And uh, we often feel very much pain when we see the situation of the students who have passed with bigger marks. Still, that craving for that marks, certificates, that internal projects, all these things are there. But I can see that lot of courses are there, lot of programs are there. But coming to the concept of a lifelong learning, or coming to the concept of a fulfilling life, that is not being discussed everywhere now. So for that, this continuous learning and upskilling is very important. And digital literacy, this have to be all of us know the importance of this. We realize actually this importance of this digital literacy during the COVID times. So it's very important. And coming to the careers, we can see we should foresee the future like that. Generally, we can classify them to futuristic, trending, contemporary, and declining. And still, we have a lot of students who are going behind this, not knowing about the future world of work, and they are going behind the contemporary and declining sectors. So it's most important that even if you know yourself to the maximum, you have a great ambition or vision of life in front of you, and you are in a journey of perfection. Still, you have to use the futuristic and trending courses and careers, where we have to how we can see after the 5 years or 10 years, we have to visualize that. So this is most important. And we have the WF report saying about the futuristic jobs like care economy, data and engineering and cloud computing. We have green economy, people and culture, product development, sales, marketing, and content. Even there are the influence of technology in each of these sectors. Still, it's positioned as a futuristic sector. So coming to the conclusion part, it's already 50 minutes since the start of this session. And coming to the conclusion, uh, what I can recommend from my experiences is to the students or the stakeholders or the parents or the uh, who are the educationists joined from the across the globe for this meeting. We just have to convey this to our students, that don't do something because he or she or society is doing or not doing something. Because what is important is that the student or the child must be able to configure what really matters to you. That doesn't depend on whether it pays or not. Because if our heart is not into something deeply, we cannot do anything to the best. We may be doing something, maybe earning well or something, but coming to doing the best, you have to put it in your heart. You have to live your life fully. So if you are not absolutely devoted to what you do, you will not do anything significant in your life. Maybe they may be earning a living, and we have a lot of examples in front of us. Even if you take the persons of mostly the film stars or the sports stars who have their own ambitions, who have chased their passions. If you take the case of Sachin Tendulkar, we often say as an example of following our passion or like that. We can say that even hitting a ball with enormous devotion or passion can lead to tremendous results. So that should be the way of approach in welcoming when we are going to the future or present world of work. Of course we have to know, so knowing ourselves and knowing the world around us is most important. And then there can be always a lot of inner questions that come into a person's mind, that what drives you, what truly matters you, what did you always want to do, and how do you want to bring value to people's life. What would you do if money weren't a thing? What do you want to get a better? What do you do if you could live forever? These are some of the questions that we can ask ourselves, or we can share to our students, that just ask these questions deeply inside us and come up with answers from your own heart. So, if any of our students are not happy with their career, there may be two possible reasons. Whether they know what you want to do, but they are too afraid or lazy to pursue it, or they have not found their passion because they are too afraid or lazy, or they may be too distracted to explore. That may be many of that is the major reason that I point out in today's era. They may be too distracted to explore. They are not getting enough an opportunity to think of, such as there lies the importance of career mentors or career planning in our education institutions. So this is the passion interest hierarchy, and for the sake of time I'm not explaining into that. So I would want to conclude my session by the quote from the Albert Einstein we have in front, that if you want to lead a happy and meaningful life, tie it to a goal, not to people or objects. And this time we can think of what is the best thing that I can do. And if we go on thinking what is the best thing, we will always waste our life always wondering on what is the best thing, what is the best thing, because it can change as we evolve, as we getting age. Our priorities change, our passions may change, but there can be an area there our passion lies ideally. So there is no best thing. Whatever we put on our heart and soul, it's a great thing. For the world it may not be a great thing, but in our own experience it's a great thing. And that's what every child or every student should do. So that is my opinion only. And with this I am winding up my presentation, and uh, coming to the our
Thank
title of this session, and that is uh, getting ready for the workspaces of today and tomorrow. In a nutshell, I can say that our students should be able to configure or knowing ourselves to the best of their way, and at the same time they should know the world of work to the closest. So that's all from my presentation. I thank.
you. We have a first question here. Students are increasingly expected to graduate from universities as work-ready graduates. Shouldn't we be incorporating such training sessions in schools itself?
Yeah, definitely, because being presenting in this education sector in Kerala especially, uh, when we look at the students who are coming out of the colleges, it's always important that these have to be acquired from the college or school itself. Because when we coming of the present design of the schools or colleges, they are always concerned about the education. I mean, the exams, the reports, the projects, seminars, all these things. I cannot see an atmosphere of creativity. Of course, there are examples, few examples, but in majority there are no way where a creative space for students is being brought up. So it's essential that this has to be started from the schools or colleges, where an inbuilt system is always there, where they get opportunities to interact to veterans in different sectors. They get opportunities to know themselves, and they get opportunities to interact with the mentors, career guidance experts. So all these things are very important, and we had few experimentations regarding this in the first years, where we used to introduce. We started many career clubs, career radios, career podcasts, all these things, and at the same time, career mentor for a school concept was also introduced in few of the schools. So definitely that should be the motto that I would suggest.
Thank you, sir, for that. We have one more question here. Are reskilling courses provided by ASAP for students who have already completed their studies?
Yeah, now initially the concept of SF was that like the skilling was initially like we were providing life skills and communicative skills and soft skills and few skills to the high secondary and college students only. So now the skilling concept, whole concept of the skilling has changed all over the world, and accordingly we have also changed, and it's now a community skilling. So we have students, for example, we have students age ranging from the age of 20s to above 70s or 75 people. That age community people are also in that. So definitely there are courses for those who are pass out. Every age group now we have courses or skilling, the way to skills. All these things are there. I hope is there if
Yes.
they some of them want to know in detail about any course, we can connect through their website or not.
Thank you, sir, for that. Do we have any more questions? Yeah, what are the basic skills every student should acquire, irrespective of whatever technological advances are taking place in the industry?
Uh, it's a good question, Bab, because that was all about the major things that I presented in my session today. Uh, I would go for that. The major skills, that is knowing oneself, because that is a basic thing that they have to occur. That is not actually a skill, that is actually a journey. But for that, they have to start observing themselves, start to follow their habits, start of some good habits, and they should be away from some distractions. And getting distracted is a very big problem, because now we know that attention war is going on everywhere. So it's more important for a child to give his or her attention to the thing that is very important in their life. So being a world with there are chances of distraction, it's more important that if you can consciously do something, if you can consciously involve in something. By saying consciously like that, what I'm saying that doing with a calm and gentle way, completely your mind is immersed in something what we can call as mindfulness recently. So if we can practice something like that, that is a big quality, because that will automatically bring self development in every child. Whatever they are doing, do it to the fullest. Whether they are eating, they have to develop a quality that enjoy that thing, enjoy every meal. And if you are sleeping even, and they should be having a peaceful sleep. So that's a big quality, that being consciously involving in every activity you do. That is not easy actually. When we come into the practice one by one, it is not easy, because there are a lot of distractions around us. So if this quality is being acquired by a student gradually, it will be very help to him or her in the future life.
Thank you, sir, for that. The participants can post their questions in the chat box. So we have one more question here. Should AI skills be taught to students, and if so, from which age?
I would go like that. AI, now everything there is a branding with the AI, because we have a lot of activities, lot of workshops, webinars, internships, everything we used to connect with the AI. That is just a way of branding only. But it is essential that the students should be familiarized with these tools, because otherwise they will be outdated from the system. That is very true. And I would go for starting from the age of maybe 10. That will be better, because up to that age, that is like a basement where you should be concentrating enough on you only. After that, the world of work comes in front of you. So I would go for the age of 10, which will be an ideal time to start with these tools.